and you got a reverse, right? Reverse deployment also, which probably is my favorite if I'm being honest. And again, I've been EDCing this guy for a long time now, and still dead center right there. Now, as far as the blade, right? How strong, how solid is the blade? Right, T6. Yep. By the way, I like that these are recessed pocket clip screws right there, so that's very nice. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel, and today we're going to be reviewing this guy right here, the CJRB Pyrite. This is an awesome EDC. This guy has seen so much pocket time. You guys have no idea. I've been EDCing this guy for a couple of months now, so I definitely have some substantial feedback to provide you guys with. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So I had the opportunity to unbox this guy on the channel a little while back. If you haven't seen the unboxing video, make sure to check it out. But this is, I want to say, one of the most fidgety knives out in the market right now. So just a quick summary right here. You have a button deployment, right? That's very nice. You can button deploy and also close your knife, close the blade. Thumb deployment right here also, right? So let's see, thumb deployment, right? You can do that all day, every day. And you got a reverse, right? Reverse deployment also, which probably is my favorite if I'm being honest. Of course, as long as your index finger doesn't get in the way, right? Boom, look at that. So what are we dealing with this guy here? Let's do some quick measurements on this guy. The overall length is going to be around, I want to say 7 3/4. Nope, I lied. 7.5, a little bit under, right? Maybe like 7 3/8 as a total length. As far as the blade, total blade length is going to be around 3 1/4. The actual cutting inch is going to be right around under 3 inches, and then the handle is going to be right at 4 1/4 right there. Since we're here, let's do a quick hardware check on this guy. By the way, guys, the tools that I use are very affordable. They are linked down below in the description. Check them out. They're part of the Spyderco set, and they're very useful for any kind of scenario you may have, anything that you need to take apart or put back together. So check out the links down below. They're affiliate links. They help out the channel at no extra cost to you. So let's do a quick hardware check on this guy. I want to guess probably dealing with T6 on the frame there, probably a T8 on the pivot, and probably T6 on the pocket clip as well. So let's test to see if that is the case. All right, here we go. Yeah, that is definitely a T6 right there on the frame. Let's check the other side. Yeah, that is T6. All right, T6 pocket clip screws. Right, T6. Yep. By the way, I like that these are recessed pocket clip screws right there, so that's very nice. That was one of the things that I pointed out with the RUIKE, right? That they were not recessed on the RUIKE, whereas they are recessed on the Pyrite. Right, there's a clear difference right there. You guys can see it with your own eyes. And as far as the pivot, here we go. Right, it should be a T8. Boom, there it is. Right, and you have the same pivot screw on both ends, so you will need two different drills. Two different drills? What the heck? All right, so you will need two different screwdrivers in order to tighten or loosen this guy. But yeah, T8 is going to do the trick right there. But there you have it, guys. So pivot is T8, everything else is T6. Let's do a quick blade stock thickness on this guy. On the thickest portion, this guy's gonna be 0.10, right? 0.10. And on the, let's see, pointiest section, it should be, or it's gonna be 0.02 inches on the very point right there, on the very tip. All right, let's check the weight really quick on this guy for comparison purposes, right? Here's the leek. The leek is gonna be 3.3 ounces. Here is the RUIKE P801. Check out the review on this guy if you haven't already in the channel. This guy comes in at 4.1 ounces. Definitely a little bit heavier than the other knives. And here is the weight on the Pyrite. So this guy is 3.6. So not too bad. Still gives you a good solid, you know, weight to it. Definitely gonna be a little bit heavier than a G10 on my Carter handle. Obviously, it's all metal design, but you know, definitely not as heavy as the RUIKE. But in any event, you know, me personally, I like a knife that has some substantial weight to it, right? So I don't mind that at all. But you guys be the judge of that. Let's try it once again for scientific purposes. There it is, 3.6 ounces. So what are we got going on here? We have a drop point blade, like I mentioned earlier. Right, got some nice jimping going on up here, which is very nice. A very good sharpening choil there as well, right? Something to keep in mind as well. As far as the air goes right, this guy fits completely in my hand with plenty of handle still left on the other end. I have average hands, not too big, not too small, but as you can see, I'm able to comfortably get a good grip on this guy with no issues. Just like I mentioned on the RUIKE P801 review, the only thing to keep in mind is you may find this knife a little bit slippery, right? If you're wearing gloves or what have you, if you're not being careful, or if you're like me with butterfingers all the time, because there isn't a pattern or anything printed on the actual handles. It's just this plain stonewash finish. You know, it may slip out of the hand here and there, right? So just be careful with that. Make sure you don't drop it while it's open. Yeah, definitely don't do that, right? Be careful with that. Probably be my only gripe, if anything. Would have loved to see some sort of design on the handle, some along those lines. But I mean, the way it is, I ain't complaining. I like it the way it is. So not really something that would be a deal breaker for me. So this guy obviously is a button lock. So we got button deployment all day, every day. We got thumb deployment, right? And it's very smooth. And also reverse flick, like I mentioned earlier, probably my favorite is the reverse flick, no questions asked. This guy is probably a little bit lighter than the RUIKE because it is milled, right? So you can kind of, as you can see, actually a little bit filthy. There's so much pocket lint going on in there. It's a little embarrassing. That just tells you how much I have carried this guy over the last couple of months. But yeah, it's certainly milled in the inside. No doubt about that. That helps with the weight a little bit. Explains why it was lighter than the RUIKE P801. So something to keep in mind there. The spacers are nice and solid, right? Some solid spacers right there for sure. Pocket clip, yeah, this guy is very deep carry, no doubt about that, right? Just like I mentioned on the unboxing, right? When you put this guy in the pocket, there's no concern about any portion of the pocket sticking out. As a matter of fact, it is so deep carry that a portion of the pocket clip actually stands higher or taller than the end of the knife right there, right? Since we're here, check out the blade alignment right there. That thing is smack in the middle. And again, I've been EDCing this guy for a long time now and still dead center right there. Now, as far as the blade, right, how strong, how solid is the blade? I want to say that thing is not going anywhere. That is a solid 9.9 out of 10 right there, right? That is very, very solid. Could it possibly fail? All right, I mean, unless you really try to, you know, throw it off a building or something, that button lock is going to keep that blade nice and locked in place. So let me tell you guys about this guy. What has the experience been over the last few weeks EDCing this guy? I gotta tell you, it's been months now. It's been months since I've had this knife, and I want to tell you, this guy has seen a ton, and I mean a ton of pocket time. This guy has probably been in my pocket the longest out of all the knives. There was a point where I just threw this knife in my pocket for weeks on end, and I wasn't even thinking about any other knife. So if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what does. I had to actually force myself to get this guy out of my pocket and then put something else in my rotation. I forgot about my rotation altogether when I was EDCing this guy, and I just didn't want to let go. It was just so good of an EDC, I did not want to let it go. During the time I've been EDCing this guy over and over again, this is one of those knives that not only does it get the job done, right, but it's just so fidgety and satisfying, right? This is money well spent right here. Check the links below in the description. By the way, there are affiliate links that do help out the channel and no extra cost to you. But I want to say this guy's going to be somewhere around the $50–$55 ballpark, right? And for that price, I mean, you are getting a very solid EDC, to say the least. So if you guys made it this far, you guys are the real MVPs. I hope that I've been able to give you guys some substantial feedback. Any questions that you may happen to have about this knife and you want to ask me in the comments, please don't hesitate. I'll be answering all questions on the comments that I didn't get a chance to cover on the review. I definitely don't want the review to be an hour long, so I'm just giving you some quick rapid fire feedback, impressions, things that I've been able to observe over the last couple of weeks EDCing this guy. But yeah, definitely feel free to reach out in the comments, ask me any questions you may happen to have. If there's anything in future videos that you would like to see, right, definitely let me know. You know, we can definitely add that for future videos as well. Speaking of fidgety knives, guys, by the time you're done watching this video, it's very possible that the SENCUT Crowley, this guy right here with 4 different deployment options, is probably live in the channel. So if that is the case, I'll put a card right here. That has been it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.